Hello and welcome to another episode of Analog Insights. For today's episode of One Shot, Jules and I revisit an infamous location of historical significance. And that is an old explosives factory that was used by the German Wehrmacht during World War II to produce Hexogen, which is also known as RDX in English-speaking countries. And of course, this is a really dark chapter of German history, but the site is interesting and has quite some historical significance. It was the factory was set up in a large forest area close to Augsburg in Bobingen, to be more precise, along the river Wertach. And the site was known as Fasan I and II, indicating the two different sides of the Wertach here. Apparently, for the construction, it was a tremendous effort for the Germans at the time, and they had up to 3,000 workers on the construction site at times. And the factory construction costs were estimated at 21 million Deutsche Mark after the war ended. The factory was set up in a way so that it was connected to the train station in Bobingen via a locomotive, which was basically going back and forth in order to send out the factory's output, which apparently reached a peak of 300 tons per month towards the end of the war. Of course, for confidentiality reasons, the factory should or initially employed mostly Germans, but then, and here it gets even darker, also some Russian forced laborers to produce the RDX here. Fortunately, there were not many accidents on the site, according to historical sources, but other than that, of course, it's one of the darkest chapters of German history to see, this kind of factory here. Today, the site is really interesting because it is still accessible and still there. There are some old ruins which are being slowly recaptured by nature. So nature is basically getting back its natural habitat, and you have some trees growing literally through these old buildings and through the ruins that are still there. And that, of course, makes an interesting photograph and also an interesting story to have that kind of background here. And Jules recently visited the site bringing along his Toyo Field and captured a wide-angle image of that particular location that we revisited here on black and white film, and now he wanted to get back to it, shooting a different focal length and some color negative film. And I tagged along in order to shoot some footage and help him capture this one shot and also create this episode here. And in this particular case, Jules brought his Toyo Field 45A, shooting some Kodak Ektar 100, so some color negative film here with his Schneider Symmar 210mm f 5.6 MC lens, and exposing the film for 22 seconds at f/22. So now let's take a closer look at how this one shot was captured at this particular infamous site with historical significance. So thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this somewhat different episode of Analog Insights and the look behind the scenes of this particular one shot. If you're curious about the high-res version of this image, you can find the download in the video description below. And as always, we're really curious to learn about your perspective and to hear your comments and to read them. So please let us know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, if you like this video, please remember to like it and maybe even share it with your friends. And if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. Jules, Greg, and I really appreciate each and every subscriber coming our way.